Popcross Alliance. It's me, it's back on the project. Coming to in this video, I am drawing my submission for this month's Popcross Community Redraw. This month's submission had two big rules. The main one was you had to draw a superhero, anti-hero, or villain. But the biggest rule was that you had to do two poses. A static pose, basically like the first pose I'm going to be doing in this video, and then a dynamic pose you have trouble drawing. I'll go over more of the dynamic poses I used, but it's something I usually use, but with a few different elements that I have difficult drawing. Well, now with that said, roll intro, let's get into this video. Let's go! Like and subscribe if you enjoy this video. Like I already stated in the beginning of this video, I'm going to be going over my submission for this month's Popcross Community Redraw. I decided to make a file for her in a new universe I just thought about. Similar to my Bestials universe, but except this is a universe that is full of people from another world that are the offsprings of human creatures, sort of like the elemental golem humans I want to do sometime sooner or later. This universe is known as Creature Heroes, and that's where this one takes place. This file is known as Universe. It is over a person named Brian Akuma, and this one's a female. For this video, I'm going to be making her skin tone a dark brown skin tone. I've never done that. I usually do white characters. So, without further ado, let's get into this information. I read her a short story. Universe, Creature Heroes. Race, Demost. Meg, her father, Shadow Whip. Mother, human version, elemental golem, hybrid. And the creature, Crackling Stone Power, which is an elemental golem. Hero name, Demostic Crackling Stone. Powers, Demostic levels of immunity, regeneration, speed, strength, and stamina. Strength and enhancing crystals. Strength enhancing crystals. Shadow manipulation plus a tail. Story. When 1.5-year-old Ryan was found, she was with only one arm and with a strong sense of justice. That wasn't until one night. That one fateful night, she had a dream of three figures. One figure was about 6 feet tall and had a tail. Had dark gray skin, hair that was dark but also nearly see-through. Another was 5'6". Well, about 5'6", and female, with some odd formations on her body. And the third was in between the two other figures. It was her. But her when she was around 1.5 years old. Then a portal appeared out of nowhere and sucked her up. She appeared in the forest where she was originally found. She soon woke up and more memories of her parents and another world. And 2 days later, when she met them in a dream again, when she woke up, she was different. She has a new arm that was made up of crystals and rock that appeared to be floating. Her other arm, down to her elbow, was dark gray. Her hair was just like her real father's hair. Dark, black, and nearly see-through. Shadow hair. She also had a tail that was just like her father's, but it had her mother's crystals at the end. Ryan later found out that she was able to launch a shadowy tendril from her hand that was dark gray. And the crystals that made up parts of her were unable to enhance her strength more on the crystal side. Now she has two big things on her mind. One, protecting the innocent, and two, finding a way back to her real parents and her world she originally came from. And the villains all know her as Demonic Crackling Stone. But she isn't the only one of her kind. There are other people waking new powers that are either good, neutral, just want a regular life, but are pulled into this crazy world full of power and mystery of how these kids appeared here. And some that were evil and thought they were sent to this world to rule over it with an iron fist. And it's up to her and a few of her new friends to put a stop to these people. And she will now be known as Demonic Crackling Stone. Now, that last bit was, from the last part, was an extra edit I decided to put in there for story, because it has an element, the story I want to submit, the shorter one from Popcross Studios I want to submit, am going to submit with her, is actually, is a lot shorter and has, that shorter bit of that part in there. Now, for the pose, I went for my standard speedster stopping to a slide pose. Like that 1 foot outwards, one knee, one leg bent that one way, and I tried my best to make the foot appear straight. But I'm going to be fixing that in the drawing stage. That was just a rough sketch I decided to come up with. The reason why I did this one was because I had a little bit more ease with it, but I knew I needed to fix something. So I decided to go with the poses that were for the hands. I have a big hard time drawing hands in general, especially because of how I was drawing her left arm, her right arm. It's slinging down onto the ground like a wrecking ball. I realized when I used my own hand that the way I was making her hold it and slam it to the ground, you couldn't really see any fingers unless you put your hand out like that. But that wouldn't really make any sense. So I decided to fix that, and as you can tell from the actual sketch, that it was originally going to be something else. But I also had to deal with the closed fist. I was having trouble drawing that because I usually do, but especially the way I was doing it. I usually have it going upwards, holding onto something like a staff or something like an axe. But this time I was holding a whip, a shadow whip, like the actual demolished shadow whip. And overall, I just had to fix something like that. But then again, I also had to incorporate the tail in somehow into that design. So I decided to have it curl around her back. And it going through. I never really worked with that because I never had a character that had a tail before. But when I was writing her story, I put that in there, and I realized that I needed to actually draw a tail for her. But I think I was drawing and then making the story. I decided to add a tail in there, but I'm pretty sure I wrote the story first. And then I was going back over it, and I was like, oh, I didn't give her a tail. So I went back and fixed that problem. I actually really like this character. I'm actually going to plan on making more hybrids and put them into this world. Maybe bring Ryan, Worm Ryan back in for Multiverse Chronicle, which is basically a rip-off of Multiverse Tales, but with a different threat and different story elements. But hey, those are iffy ideas. But there's definitely one video that I really want to do. In that video, I'm going to be redrawing the Les and the reindeer demons and Satan claws for sure. I'm thinking that video is going to be coming out sometime around sometime in November, because that's a month in between Christmas and Halloween, because it's more of a happy time, but still a sort of a very cold and mysterious time of the year, which is what I get from it. But overall, for this character design, for her legs, I realized she didn't have anything for her legs, and so I decided to go pull a Katsuki and give her those knee pads he has in the actual anime. Which, fun fact, he can actually use as a blunt weapon to actually kill someone. But other than that, I actually changed her body type. Usually I would go for a hourglass figure, but I decided that since the rules were that I needed to work with a pose I've never done before, or have trouble drawing, I decided to change her body type as well. And on the rocks, I used a different line weight, so I can practice something else. I used, if I remember correctly, I used a 2.5 line weight, which is one full line weight bigger than my the one I use right about now. The reason why I use 1.5 is because it's just light enough for you to see the outline, but dark enough, but light enough for you to be able to see the actual drawing. No, that's all I got for the character and a few other things. Sorry about my rambling. Well, that's all the time I got for today's video, and I hope you all enjoyed. Until next time, subscribe to Daydreams Back to Farmer or Monster Alliance. Goodbye, and peace out, everyone.